which I actually hated. And then I wanted to play drums. They didn't have enough slots for drummers, so I ended up taking a lot of private lessons, hooking up with like Dan Hobby and some of the other guys that I know that are, Brad Davis. He was one of the first drummers I took drum lessons from. And we got to hang out with Tony Adams. He's the #1 drum tech in the country. He's on tour right now with Matchbox 20. So he's the one that got me my Mississippi Morris drum. So that's basically where I started playing drums. Started at 16, I would say. I was 16 years old. Bought my first new set of drums from John Beeson, Music Shop. Been playing ever since. Played metal bands, country bands. Really took a liking to the blues. Got really hooked up tight in the blues industry per se. Played with my Mississippi Morris, which allowed me to meet tons of people. I met, 3 weeks ago, I was with Johnny Winter and his RV. I met Buddy Miles, Black Oak Arkansas guys, Tony Castro. The list just goes on and on and on. So I consider myself a pretty decent blues drummer. There's a lot of guys out there that are better drummers, but I think it's at the right place and the right time. Well, thanks to Kenny Tucker, I've known Kenny for 40 years. He's allowed me to sit in with him and hone my harmonica skills. Most guys don't do that, and I just recently started playing harmonica, probably about 8 months to a year. So that's been fun. Ken's like, oh, come on out and play. So it's allowed me to do that. And a lot of places, don't do that. I've had a lot of good instructions. I like to, Bob Freeze, I'm always calling him up and picking his brain. Steve Rushin, I'm always, say, hey, what can I get some help with my learning harmonica? D. Carp, he's another guy who's a James Cotton steady. So those guys have actually helped me with my harmonica skills. So I'm kind of, just filling in and going out and doing a little bit of harmonica stuff. As far as drumming goes, I'm still playing with Mississippi Morris. I'm playing with Reverend Robert. He's the one that actually gave me my Washboard Shorty name, which allows me to do some of the traditional blues, because Bobby is the National Slide Guitar Champ in 2004. So he said, hey Larry, let's do something real traditional, and just grab up a washboard and start playing washboard, this Delta blues stuff we're doing, which that's how it was done back in the 20s and 30s anyway. They grabbed up their own instruments and they made what they made. So he's the one that give me the name Washboard Shorty, and then Morris actually kind of verified it, and they got together and said, yeah, it works out good. So that allows me to do some of the Delta blues stuff we've been doing. I have my own band, which is Southland. I started 20 years ago with Pat Nuttall. We've had tons of people coming through Southland. Louis Popejoy. There's just tons of people that's done that. So that's been really good too. Just filling in with whoever I can fill in with. I have a Boondocks Blues band. That's Bobby's in that one. So just wherever I can. I've been playing some gigs with Rick Pageant and Jimmy Hollingsworth. We've done some filling gigs and gone out and done some jobs and stuff like that. So that's pretty much about it right now for what I'm doing. Well, that started with Bobby, and we started doing the washboard thing, and then I got to checking around and found out one end looked at the cajon stuff, which the cajons are kind of cool. It's a Cajun drum. You can make it sound like a snare or a kick or whatever. And then I got endorsed with Best Stomp Box, or it's called by foot bass. So you got your kick drum on the stomp box, and you got the snares that you can play with the cajon, and then the washboard gives you the high end like a hi-hat. So, and that seems to be doing pretty good too. I've done some acoustic shows with a lot of guys with that. Like say, Rick's done some stuff, and then me and Bobby, and every once in a while, me and Kim was doing some stuff where we were doing our acoustic show, which. For acoustic, I don't think that you can get any better sound as what I'm playing with that three combinations, because it's real raw sounding, acoustic. You're not got somebody that doesn't beat the guitar out of the drums. You're actually taking things and making your own instruments and trying to make the sounds that you want to make, which is a real raw sound, which that's what acoustic is anyway. I run into Louis Popejoy. I've been with Louis for, probably 25, 6, 7 years. He goes, hey, I need a drum teacher. I said, well, I can probably do that for you. So and that's how that worked out. I'm still better. So kind of a permanent fixture with Louis, like a second dad. Anything I ever needed any help with, he's right there. So that's basically, he's the one that asked me about teaching. I'm like, hey, okay, it works. Gosh, there's so much talent in Terre Haute. The problem that Terre Haute has is, the town isn't big enough for all the musicians. I've toured all over the country with Wabash and everything. I've been on some of the biggest stages. Memphis and Mavis, 3 million people go to that thing. And we have just as much talent here as we do in any other city in the country. Just not enough places to play at all. There's just, the music scene isn't getting supported as much as it should. It's starting to pick up a little bit, but we just have too many great musicians and not enough places, in my opinion. There are all these people to play. Pretty cool. I didn't have that when I was growing up. We just had to grab whoever we could get, and hopefully it worked out. I think it'll be a good idea to give the younger youth to get out and do some stuff and maybe learn from some of the old guys like me and Jimmy and everybody else. So I think it'll be a great opportunity for youngsters to get out and learn, and I'm sure we're going to learn something from the kids too, because you can learn from anybody. I've got students, I show something and they'll do something, they're going, whoa, how did you do that? So I think it'll be a mutual thing for some learning. I think it'll be great. I hope it'll be around in 10 years. I really want to focus more on doing something in the blues industry. I've met some of the biggest names of blues, got to hang out with some of the greatest guys, and most of those guys will sit here and talk just like we are. There's no big egos, and it's not, it's a whole different scene, the blues, and I love it. I've been doing it for years. I've been playing with Morris for probably 15 years now, and I'm down on Bill Street playing the B.B. Kings probably every other month, at least once or twice, and just love it down there. If I didn't have my regular job here, my day job, I would probably be living in Memphis right now. Practice. Try to hang out with some older guys. You can learn from anybody. The main thing is sitting down and doing, getting with a good teacher and learning the drills. What happens with a lot of younger students, which I was young one time, and I played drums for probably, 3 or 4 years, and you get to what I call a drummer's rut, or it would be like a musician's rut. You keep playing the same thing repetitiously over and over and over and not learning too much. You get with a teacher that can show you the drills and instruction, which way it goes. I learned more in 1 year of taking lessons than in 4 years of just banging around on my own. So I think that's the critical thing, is practicing and getting the right instruction from teachers and stuff.